This sold for 600 bucks, and we paid probably 250 for it. It's a Zeiss Icon Super 6x9 Iconta folding camera. The Crazy Picker Life with Wheeler, Dealer, and Banana Peeler. Good morning, fellow pickers and would-be adventurers. This is Dealer with the Crazy Picker Life. It is Tuesday morning, and boy, I'm getting a late start today. This school is really a challenge. I have to think of it more like school is the main thing and my business is the challenge. I need to fit my business around my my school teaching of my children, and it takes, coming off of summer, it takes a few weeks to get that through my mind. It's funny how changing schedules works and all that. So today is going to be a regular vlog day. We did 50 vlogs and did a video yesterday. Back in the office today. Got lots of orders to pack. Lots of things to catch up on. Should be a good day. I'm popping in the office this morning before Lon goes to work. And sort of did a work at home day yesterday. Did a lot of planning and a lot of things around the house. Feel pretty good about getting caught up there. So, downside of that, time-wise and energy-wise, is I've got kind of a Monday today. Kind of a Monday again today, even though yesterday was Monday. Yesterday I worked, I probably worked a, 6-hour day around here, but it started at midnight. Got a lot of my orders packed up from the weekend. Went home. Came back maybe one more time, I can't remember exactly, and that was about that. So, even though I don't feel like I was here yesterday, I was here yesterday. Well, I got some other exciting things going on today. I've got my beer signs, my Schlitz signs, my expensive, cool Schlitz sign collection that I bought. Came in yesterday, and I did not open it yesterday, except I thought this was something else, so I opened it. It's a Schlitz cone top beer can. Schlitz fine beer that made Milwaukee famous. This beer contains sunshine. Can't see that probably. Sunshine vitamin D. So they used to talk about beer having vitamins, and apparently they either put them back in there, kind of like they do with some of the processed food today, take the vitamins out, put them back in there, or they just left it in there maybe. I don't know. It's kind of a whole different era. Never did the research on Schlitz and the vitamin D deal, but anyway, I got a cone top can. That's my first cone top can that I've ever picked up. I didn't pick it up to buy and sell necessarily. I picked it up to enjoy collecting, and I got it thrown in with the sign deal, just as an add-on, a deal closer. A lot of times when the deal gets down there and can't quite pull the trigger, especially if it's a deal where there's some pretty good money involved, I'll look around either online or in person, and I'll be like, well, I'll do it if you throw that in. And this happened to be a can that he had listed for 100 bucks plus best offer. Some of those cans are really expensive. And he went for that, so that was my deal closer. So you can always do that. I don't always remember, but
remember a lot more now. Brought my laptop home yesterday and did some planning and some work from home. Okay, I gotta look here. I've got about 10 minutes to answer some questions. I think I had a return come from Amazon yesterday, a small one. I have to work with that early this morning. And then home to get school started and get the 2 miles in, get the boys on an easy run today. I'll probably poke my head back in here in a couple hours. I might bring the young kids over and do their school over here for a while. Let them do some of it over here. Okay, I'm gonna get my day going. I feel like I'm rambling on. Thanks for watching.
Look lively, mateys. This is Captain Kidd. We're gonna be sailing the 7 seas right out of dealer's office. This is a call out for Resale Living. Jack over at Resale Living said that he had another copy of this Captain Kidd model and he was excited that I was going to sell mine first. Well, Jack, it's sold today, and being that you're the only person that I ever know that got kicked off Etsy and got recently reinstated, there you go, buddy. Big profits. If I could focus. $20.19 plus $12.80 shipping, going to North Carolina. Somebody's going to make a scale model and sail it off into the sunset. Maybe you can get up there. Maybe they want 2 of them. Ha ha ha. Tried to come up with a pirate thing at the end there. Just the laugh, I guess. Ha 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 ha. And a bottle of rum. Alrighty, I got my Jeep back. It is no longer dusty, and they did a nice job on 99.5% of it. 12 packages going out. I didn't get them all packed today, but that's how it's working lately. Can't get the same day ones out always. I try to. So I said 99.5%. There's the problem. Got the buffer wheel with something on it and took some bite marks out of the side of my Jeep. And my wife said, so why couldn't they do that to the van? And I'm thinking the same thing. Why couldn't you have done that to my van? It's got lots of scratches on it already. So he was nice enough to point it out, and that's a professional thing to do. I'm gonna stop in today and see what some options are to get that filled in and fixed. It's in such good shape. I hate to just dingle dong it and stick some touch-up paint on there. I would like it to be back the way it was, but we'll have to see what the options are. I feel bad for the guy that detailed it too, because he put 10 hours in this thing, and then the last hour he did that and he's like, ugh. So I know how that feels. So I'm caught in the middle, like my Jeep. Whatever. Let's go see what that's going to cost for him. Well, the detailer is going to get off the hook relatively easy. My local paint guy here is going to be able to fix that and blend that in for somewhere around 150 bucks. And so not all is going to be lost for my detailer. I kind of feel bad for him still, even though he torqued my Jeep. But so I'm going to get that in next Monday and hopefully get that done before I have to get out of here on vacation. And let's see what else. Oh, he's going to give me a little do-jigger of paint, touch-up paint. And so I've got a few other little scratches that I've noticed after it's been detailed, so I get a bonus. I get a little touch-up paint out of the deal, and I can fill in my little cracks. So good deal. Okay, well, we had a good sales day in the last 24 hours. Now it's about 6:54 p.m. It's about 7 p.m. And if you zoom in a little bit on this camera thing, and my camera probably will start zooming out. This ended 4:34 p.m. Pacific time. For me is 6:34 p.m. So I missed, I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. I missed filming this by about a half hour to make it real cohesive, but I wanted to show you this. So 24 hours ago and 30 minutes, this sold for 600 bucks, and we paid probably $250 for it. It's a Zeiss Icon Super 6x9 Iconta folding camera. It's a pretty sweet camera, and it's definitely a high-end camera, and this thing was in pretty good shape. It's got the nice lens on it, etc. Okay, so that's a neat camera. Before I show you the daily totals, and I'll have to explain that a little bit, people like to see you have a good day, right? Well, we like to see good days too. What I'm focusing on is trying to get items. Well, here's the goal. Here's the goal that I have in the back of my mind. I would like to sell one item per day for $200 or more. At least one item a day for $200. Now, some days we have multiple $200 or more items. Some days we have a big item sell. Some days we don't have any items over $200 sell. But that's my goal in the back of my mind, is one bigger ticket item per day. Our average ticket is somewhere between 40 and 60 bucks, depending on how long of a time period you want to go. But I'm trying to raise that, and one way that you raise that is be on the lookout for more expensive items. We've started to pay up on a few things, and we've been starting to pull things in that we buy for $20, $50, or $75 that go for that $200 or more. Like I said, this is one we paid probably $250 for, and we bought a bunch of cameras, and this was one of the nice ones in there. There are some others in there that are equally as good profit and equally as nice. So we sold that, shipped that out today. Now, when I ship something like this out, I do ship it out typically priority mail in the United States. I put tracking on there, extra tracking, signature, not extra tracking. I put signature on there, adult signature, and then I put insurance, something $500 or more. I'm gonna spend the $3 or $4 or $5, and my Indicia thing for $3, $4, $5 will allow me to put the insurance on there. I'll do that. I just feel better with something that large. Okay, so here's the one that shipped 24 hours ago and paid 24 hours ago, and a little bit extra. And then there were these two. We had another one in there for 110, and another one in there with shipping $239. It was a $192 item. And then if I go into awaiting shipment, we've got pretty good orders. These are ones I still have to pack up for today. There's a $90 one. There's another $88 plus shipping, etc. Right? So there's pretty good ones in there. And I don't know what just sold. Another $48 item. Okay, so bottom line is you add that up, and the 24-hour thing is going to come in right there, and that's not going to take into account the $600 order. So that one just fell off, and we're at $832. So take away the last 45 minutes, add in, pretend I made this video 2 hours ago, and this number for that 24-hour period would be over 1,000. In fact, it would probably be closer to 1,300 or 1,400. Now, the camera business was really going gung-ho for the last 24 hours, and my Northwest Kansas business, I think I've only sold one item for 20 bucks in the last 24 hours, and that's kind of how it goes. Last week, I had a couple of days in the Northwest Kansas business that sold, I think one day was 500 and another day was very close, 24-hour period was very close to 800. So it's nice having two different sort of unrelated businesses. One will be on and the other will be off. When they're both on at the same time, you can get a pretty hectic day, or if I have test strips or something else. So hey, we had another $1,000 day. If I didn't explain that well enough, or if you think I scammed the system, let me know. But that's a $1,000 day right there. Okay, my days kind of bleed into each other. I think it's Tuesday. Oh my goodness, there's my can back there. So yesterday, I kind of had an off day or whatever. I'll just leave it at that. And this package came in, and I was teasing the kids that these were $1,850 worth of beer signs, and they're all looking at me like, where the heck are the beer signs? Did they fold them in half? Did they break them? You know, there's 5 of them in there. Are you insane? A lot of the beer signs I bring home are either like plastic and 3D and big, or they're big metal ones, and so they just didn't believe me. So without further ado, I'm gonna open these up. I haven't seen them yet, and I'm pretty excited about it. So let me open these up and share them with you here once I get them all laid out. Here are the Schlitz signs. Now these are pretty cool. I've been looking these over for a few minutes, and you know, I've kind of kept track of them, the advertising, and I've looked online over the years, and you can't tell when you buy these if they're going to be 100% legit. These surely seemed legit when I was looking at them online. There's not a lot of information on old metal tin beer signs. These are from 30s, 40s, and maybe into the 50s. Hard to exactly tell. I'm gonna have to do some more research, but they're cool, and they seem 100% legit. Some of them are just in fantastic shape, other than some scratches and stuff, which makes you kind of wonder. But then you look close and you realize it's just, you can't age things that way. Drink only Schlitz, the beer that made Milwaukee famous for that famous flavor. And of course you got the old bottle there and the nice old glass. Form 709, and so that's going to help me zero in on it when I do some serious research, if I ever have time. These were, I think, in the liquor stores, places, grocery stores, places where Schlitz was sold, or maybe on the bars or the tables or something. But these were not expensive signs at the time. This was how they did things. And here's For Great Occasions, the beer that made Milwaukee famous. And you got a little bit different bottle there. I don't know the age and era. Form 747. So that one is newer than the first one I showed you. This is right in that same era. This is kind of a weird one. It's got kind of weird coloring. America's most distinguished bottle of beer, and that is Form 777, so that's even a little bit newer yet. It is the same bottle design as this, and so if I had to date these, I think this one goes back into probably the early 40s, possibly the late 30s. These are probably mid to late 40s, even early 50s, something like that. This one, this Blatz one, I haven't looked that much up. It's got a lot of scratches, like people scratch stuff into it, things like that. The bottle is really cool. They used to have Blatz with the old Heidelberg label on there. We do not serve minors, and so this was some sort of bar sign. It's kind of weird that it's so shiny. It's It's a different kind of sheet metal. It's, I don't know, the complete difference between sheet metal, tin, and all that, but that's a little bit different kind of metal. It does have some identification, B136, so I'm going to be able to do some research on that. Again, I got the cone top thrown in. Just going to put that on my shelf. It's pretty cool. Schlitz vitamin D beer, as I showed before. Internal Revenue tax paid. It's a steel can. And they stamp some sort of a date on there. I don't know how to read that. Looks like something 5138, and that could be 1938. I suppose it could be 1951. I don't know my cans real well. I really don't care, other than it's authentic. And then this is one that threw me for a loop a little bit here, because I didn't realize it was going to be so small. I didn't look that closely. I did double check with some of the other ones that had sold. This is a small one. This is 11.5 inches by 7.5. It's reasonably plain in brown bottles. Schlitz, the brew that made Milwaukee famous. And again, it has some cardboard on the back, and I believe somebody put something on there to hang it. I don't know the exact date on this. Some research shows that this was in Prohibition, during Prohibition. I don't know exactly how that could be, because they weren't serving beer, so in brown bottles, I'm not sure. It could be right before, it could be right after. For whatever reason, and I hope to get to the bottom of it if I have time at some point, this one is money. This one is big money. I've never owned a sign that's worth this much, let alone something like a little goober like this. This sign on a bad day on auction would sell for over $1,000. I guess I paid $1,100 for it. I'm probably going to list it at $2,000 and try to keep it right there. And on the right day, who knows, somebody will come along and has to have it for their collection, finds out that this is one of the better ones. There are Schlitz memorabilia and signs that I have seen that have sold in the $5,000 to $10,000 range. But as far as tin signs, this appears to be about it. So that is the Schlitz collection, the Blatz collection. I hope to put these up soon. I may talk a little bit more about them if I find out anything exciting, like, hey, they're fakes. Hopefully not. I don't think so. Or, hey, this is what the story is on the date and the age and all that. Sign fakery is getting to be so good out there that you got to be careful. I think I know what I'm looking at. I think I know what I'm looking for, and I feel comfortable about these. But you know, it's just one of those things that you just don't always feel like you're 100% the expert. I'm not a sign expert. I would like to think that I've looked at a few hundred or even a few thousand signs, and I kind of know what I'm talking about. So that's the Schlitz. Yeehaw! I do like them. They are cool. It's going to be hard to sell any of them, and I don't know what I'm going to do on that exactly. All right, so I brought Wheeler in on the signs, and
what's up?
He noticed something that was interesting, and I was wondering the dating on this sign and why it's uncommonly rare. I mean, these here, if you watch carefully, you can get for $100, $150, $200. I'm gonna ask more for them, because I'm gonna catch the person that has to have a gift, whatever, and has to have it. But we're trying to date this one, and I'm thinking, well, how could it? You know, first of all, it's plain, and so that tells me it's before this era.
Not even embossed.
And no, it's not embossed.
Even painted, or what is that? Porcelain or painted?
It's like a tin painted.
Yeah.
But Prohibition, and what probably makes this super rare, is the logo that they used for many years, or the slogan is the beer that made Milwaukee famous. This one says the brew that made Milwaukee famous. And so they made soda.
Yep.
They made, I don't know if they made cola, root beer, cream soda, I don't know, maybe all of them, but they stayed alive with some things during Prohibition, and I'm thinking that might be it. So I'm going to have to do some more research.
Yeah, I know this one's kind of funny too. We're not serve minors, we serve blats.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one's weird. I was talking about that. You see how shiny? This is a different kind of sheet metal.
Yeah, it's true.
And I think they're all authentic. I mean, I've really looked them over, but you know, when you spend that kind of money sight unseen, or you didn't really touch them or feel them, it's kind of crazy. Yeah,
down there.
Yeah, they all the newer ones do.
Yeah.
And this one has a code. This one has a code as well.
Yep.
And this one's on the back. This one doesn't have any code. I've looked it over real carefully. So anyway, let's go look at some of your stuff for a minute.
Yeah, and dealer says he's gonna bring me something cool.
Well, I looked for something cool, and I'm like, oh, you've seen all this old backstock that you don't really want to see it anymore. So we want to talk to you and spend some time. So I just brought him these boxes of paper. Do you want to mention? Do you remember where we found these?
Yeah, we found this at like an old print shop that kind of went out of business. We were looking at a big, crazy camera there.
Yeah, I can't remember even what the town was.
Somewhere here in Kansas, Great Bend.
Yeah, I think it was Great Bend.
So PMT, I know this also says PMT on it, so I can look that up. It's PMT paper.
Well, I'll talk a little bit while you're looking it up if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
So we went to Great Bend. My wife had a seminar there, and we went to the zoo and did a little bit of picking. We looked on Craigslist or Nextech or whatever, and this place was selling this big crazy camera, and I think we took some pictures of it for the daily vlog. I think it was one of the early daily vlogs.
Yeah.
And so we went there, and it wasn't only a print shop. They did things with old film cameras, including enlarging and all that. We picked up, I made the most money there on some rollerball mouses.
Yeah, mice.
Rollerball mice. Like Wheeler's got a couple of them up there.
Yeah.
Okay, so what can you tell us?
Well, PMT paper, apparently it's for some sort of printing thing. We have PMT 1, 2, and 3, all different sorts. These, I can tell you right away, are larger than most of them. 10 by 12 inch and 12 by 18, which are a little bit better. For the most part, obsolete, mostly just a collector's item.
So there are people that are still using this stuff, but the
Somewhat,
question is this going to be in any kind of condition where they can use it?
Looks sealed.
A sealed is always going to be better.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that looks sealed.
This
too.
big camera that we looked at, people are taking these big cameras when they can have them close to New York or California. There's a few places that take those big cameras and they refab them into something that they can still use today.
Yeah, they call them the ULF cameras, or ultra large format cameras.
Yeah.
Pretty much like just giant cameras that take really high quality pictures.
So the possibility is that we can get one of these type of people with some equipment like that might still want to try to use this.
Yep.
Because they would rather use this than make the film themselves. That would be pretty hard.
Yeah. This isn't film though. This is reversal paper.
So it's part of the process.
Yeah, and pretty much from what I've seen, there's not a lot selling, but all I'm seeing is 5x7 through 8x10, and it's all priced pretty high.
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna get, I don't know,
Some money.
some money for it. There's some little bit better stuff too that we picked up from there. I forget.
I would be careful handling these boxes as they were sitting in that.
Dusty, yeah.
Well, the dust that's on this kind of stuff can be
Yeah,
chemically dust, so
Top one there looks pretty dusty. The other one's like okay.
be careful with that.
Yep.
I don't think we paid very much at all for them.
No, we didn't. I just bought as an unknown.
That stack there, I'd like to get $100. If we make $100 or more on that stack, I'd be pretty happy. But there might be a box in there that's $100.
Yeah, if there's one sealed and everything, then that's possibly $100. So.
We don't see this stuff very often.
No, we don't. And the photosensitive paper is probably on the lower end. What people are still using, but it's okay.
So, when we run into oddball stuff like this, if it's the right price, we don't even ask questions. We just pick it up.
Yeah. We should pick up some film along with that I was more interested in. I'll have to take a look at that some other time.
Yeah, I don't even know where that went. I can't remember what we spent at that stop, but it was just over $100 total, maybe. And I sold one of those mice for $100. So
yep.
I mean, we're in the good already.
Yep.
And we had to give that person some information, and mostly the information we gave them is we can't help them with that big camera.
Yeah.
All right, well, I'm going to let you go. We've got a project. I'm pretty much going to close out this vlog for today. If we, I always try to have incentives for myself to work the day through, and, Wheeler always needs incentives. If we get our day done at 11 and we feel good about it, which I see Wheeler's doing pretty good here, and I've got all my orders packed and a couple things listed, and I think I've got a couple other things I have to do here. We're gonna do a project tonight at 11 for 1 hour, and it should be exciting, and you'll want to tune in tomorrow and see what we did.
Woo!
There's a woo from Wheeler. Thanks for watching, and keep picking and look for the good stuff. Dealer out.
Hey, Wheeler.
Dealer Production.